Evening, everybody. It's 9 o'clock. It's Friday night. It's time for the What's on Joe Mind team stream. As you can see, it is not our normal house, although it is a full house. We'll be back to talk to everybody in just a second after you listen to our kick-ass theme song.
There's a Comic-Con or a toy show. What's on Joe Mind?
One does kick-ass, but it's the
wrong button.
I kind of hit two of them at the same time. We're off to a flying start.
We'll fix it in post.
Right. You got to love live performances. Welcome back to What's on Joe Mind team stream. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing this fine Friday evening?
We're here. We're alive.
I can almost talk. All right.
We're just apparently tonight's the night we just got to watch Mike.
I mean, thrilled to be here on this excellent show. This high energy G.I. Joe extravaganza. Let's
well rehearsed,
rocking on this Friday night.
That energy was coming out a little too fast. I apparently have to pull it back a little bit.
That's all I got. I got to take a nap now.
All right,
you got to rewrite those cue cards.
Fair enough. As you can see, we're not here with our normal cast. So up in the top row is our group's Ringo. He's the oldest and the youngest, and it's his birthday tomorrow. It's Ragtime Rob.
Hello. I'm old.
Yeah, Ragtime Rob. It's his last evening in his 40s. Get ready for that.
and my back already hurts, and I had indigestion all last night.
When do you get your AARP card in?
Yeah, that came a couple weeks ago.
That junk mail has not stopped. Like, he's only getting about half of it because some days I get the mail and I don't give him those. But,
You're screening it.
I mean, there's a lot. There's really
as I get older, I would become more susceptible to scams. So he's got to, make sure he keeps the Nigerian princes away from me.
Exactly. So as someone still on the south side of the youth line, at least for a limited time, I've got that responsibility now. Rob's my older brother, but he may as well be an elderly parent.
At what point does he replace the headphones with the strap around his glasses to keep them on his head?
I'm gonna go to like old 70s hi-fi headphones.
There we go, Rob. Hank Perry says I turned 50 today.
Oh wow!
Happy birthday, Hank Perry. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
And your mother's maiden name is?
I'm kind of sad you don't have something better to do tonight than this, but I appreciate your being here all the same. But in the bottom row, he's the guest host with the guest most. He is one of the two hosts of Articulated Points. Some know him as Biff McHonky Dunk, but his actual name is Phil Donnelly. Phil, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
We're hanging in there, Phil.
Biff.
So that's all we can ask for.
Or if we had an accent, beef.
Beef.
Say beef.
And also in the bottom row, where he is unfettered by icons and things like that. You know him from his own channel, 70-some thousand subscribers strong. He is certainly slumming by being here with us. But he is an old friend of the channel from way back, and we're happy anytime he can join us. Bryan Lower, Hooded Cobra Commander 788.
Howdy do.
Hi,
everybody. I am ready to rock, or roll, depending on what the situation requires.
Well, we're glad you've been back in the saddle again. The last few weeks we've got some more reviews, and they've been very entertaining. It's always nice to have that to look forward to on my weekends.
Thank you. I'm enjoying getting back into the routine. I really missed it, and I hate to take breaks like that, but just sometimes that's life.
Yeah, you got to do it. I mean, look, we're here every week because this show is a 2-bit slime show and requires no effort to perform.
But yes. While true, it's still a very entertaining show.
I say this the week before we go away for a week, so whatever. But we're glad that you're with us. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're catching us on YouTube tonight, go ahead, give us a little thumbs up for the like. Subscribe to the channel. We know some of you don't. Come on, we're just trying to get to 1,200 this week. I put that challenge out on Twitter and social media this week, and we got exactly 0 subscribers afterwards. So thanks for that, everyone.
It's a nice round number.
We had a good week before that. We picked up like 10 or 12 the week before that, and that was apparently it.
You sounded desperate.
I mean, it's that's not incorrect, right? It's not wrong.
Still got more viewers in my channel.
You can't sound desperate.
We hit 1,000 subscribers in 2021, and we're still not at 1,200 yet. So yeah, people need to start subscribing. Like about 35% of the folks who watch every week are not subscribed, and that's nuts because they already know that you're watching. So you might as well just click the little button and let us get some credit for it.
Yeah.
If you're catching us on Facebook, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy. Just some kind of reaction to let them know that you're listening. We do love little huggy guy. But make sure at some point you migrate over to YouTube, even if it's just for a second, and hit the subscribe button there. If you're catching us on audio, go ahead and leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts from, whether that be iTunes or Podbean or Stitcher or Spotify, wherever you find your podcast, they will certainly take a review from us. We haven't had one of them in a while. We still have a pretty healthy audio only audience, and there too. If you got a second, we'd really appreciate it if you could just migrate over to the YouTube site for a few seconds and subscribe there. You don't have to watch us there; it's fine. But just let us know how you let us know so you can be counted. That's basically it. Dean McKay already criticizing, needs more Joe cursing, like more cowbell. Well, we're going to be kind of short on Joe cursing tonight. That is probably not gonna happen. Although we do have the jar. So if you want to pay Joe Colton's way out of the swear jar, our coffee link is down below. You can get your name on the closing credits with the 6 folks who do so already, who are instrumental in bringing the show to you each and every Friday.
Balls. Is that it? I don't know if that's a swear, but I'm trying to help.
I mean, it's kind of a light one. It's a grade 1 swear. It's kind of like maybe you could go bollocks, and that way all of Europe just lights up.
Yeah. I don't know a lot of swears.
I do like how you delivered that as if you were on NPR.
He's there to plug his recipe for sweaty balls.
And next week he's going to join us to talk about sorghum.
Right.
All right, I'll see what I can do. I know everybody's here for the swears, so I'll see what I can come up with. I'll Google some swears since I don't know that many.
David Allen asks, "How do you subscribe, Mike?" And that's you hit the little subscribe button. That's down below.
And then click the bell for notifications.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to do that, we're pretty consistent as far as just finding our regular time. But yeah, like I don't think I do notifications even. So I'm not gonna criticize that. Just click the subscribe button, please. If you're able to leave comments, you're able to subscribe to the channel. Matt Rubin says,
guaranteed.
75% certain someone will swear tonight. That is fucking bold. So, but,
good night, kids.
Torpedo Mike says, "But bleeping is bleeping funny." It is, and I wish I had a better soundboard set up for stuff like that, because I agree. bleeping is bleeping funny. It's far funnier than the swearing itself.
One of these days, I want to be able to like curse up a storm so much that the ensuing bleeping spells out a curse word in Morse code.
Perfect.
I think I did that when I broke the Flash a couple weeks ago.
You don't have the ability to swear like that, Rob.
No, you should have heard me.
That is
saying that, like,
that is the kind of thing I would do on my show, though. I got to work that in. I'll work that in.
Stealing my ideas.
I've known you for your entire life. I've only known Joe Colton for about 10 years, and you don't have that ability.
Trust me, you weren't here.
All the birds flew away from the apartment building.
Yeah.
The Killer Weezer says the Ultimate's TeamStream, and it went rated R. Well, we kind of we
went
certainly
blue.
went, PG-13 most weeks. I don't know about R most of the time.
Well, you are allowed in a PG-13 movie. You are allowed one F-bomb.
Oh, just one?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's two. Depends on who's doing it.
I think in a PG movie you're allowed one F-bomb. I think PG-13 is more than one F-bomb.
You got to be strategic.
I think PG you're allowed one curse. Dropped some. There we go. Hence, Spike in the Transformers movie.
Well, I mean that was they went big on their one.
Yeah.
And confuse the whole audience.
Right. Well, I mean, hey, I was confused. I'll admit. So, nobody's got anything else? Nothing. I thought I was holding up because I thought everybody was going to start talking, and then nobody started talking.
Oh well. If anybody's worried that we get too far off of G.I. Joe, if we go on a tangent, I will jump in with a Yo-Jo, which will then, we'll refill our G.I. Joe quotient. So it'll keep us G.I. Joe centered. No matter how far we veer off, I'll throw in a Yo-Jo there, and that'll get us back on track.
This is an excellent question from our live chat. Good evening. What's on Joe Mine and Friends? Is there an update on Hooded Cobra Commander's HasLab glider?
Yes, it's a glider because it is engineless. They're supposed to get some replacement parts within should be a couple weeks now, but that's the only update that I have. No new updates since then. But they have responded. They said they're getting some replacement parts. For those of you who don't know, I opened the HasLab Sky Striker live, and it was missing important parts. It was missing the engines. So after an exchange with the bot at the Hasbro customer care. I think I said the magic words that got the bot to understand what I was actually needing, and supposedly it will come in. Supposedly I will get it. So tune in. See, this is the real drama that you tune in for. This is what keeps you coming back. Tune in to find out what happens with the engines.
Right. It's weird. They forgot the engines, but there were giant rubber bands included, which nobody else got. So it was very strange.
Yeah. You're supposed to pull it back and launch it that way.
Yeah, and a tan grunt.
Right.
It's a strange choices, Hasbro. Unusual choices that you're making there. Not the only unusual choice you've made, but some odd stuff coming out of Hasbro these days.
Phil, have you opened your Sky Striker yet?
I have.
No weirdness like lack of engines.
No, it had all the parts. Just it's right here.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to show it off. Okay, I was trying to give you less work to do, but okay, it's good. It's good. I know I can see Rack Time Rob's Sky Striker across the room. His is fine. I have not opened mine, and I'm kind of nervous about it because
mine. I'm pretty sure I have two of the same side missile pegs. So.
I know that a lot of them have been fine, and a few have had various problems. One friend was concerned about reselling his unopened one because he wasn't sure that he could actually sell it as complete. But until you open it, it's like Schrodinger's Sky Striker.
Right.
It is both complete and incomplete until you open the box.
Yes.
So as long as you leave it closed, it
is all possibilities.
Yes.
Quantum Sky Striker.
Right.
That's right.
Having checked out the resale prices on eBay this week, I can say that an unopened Sky Striker is not preventing people from spending big bucks on that unopened piece of cardboard. But anyways, that's about what we got for our intro here. We've wasted enough folks' time. What do you say we get to community calendar?
Oh, here we go.
I hated being on What's on Joe Mine.
That brutal chest cut.
Shipless layout. Shipless layout.
Pick the one that had the audio guest shot from Bryan there. I wasn't sure which one it was, but yeah, as you saw there, if you have an event for the community calendar, please send it to the Gmail address that was on the screen there. whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. Be happy to get it in the calendar here and give it some free publicity.
I think you went from the low-budget public access television community calendar intro to the incomprehensible modern art intro.
Yes, well, that our friend and regular listener AbsorbVids has been sending us new intros for community calendar, so we'll use them. We'll use them all. People want to send us stuff, so long as it's not something that could potentially be in just overly poor taste. I mean, more poor taste. Like, I feel we draw a pretty good line on good taste and poor taste. If it gets past our line on poor taste, it's probably not good. So
hey, those new intros are giving us a real headway into mid-'80s West Berlin dance clubs. So.
It is a lot of street cred in the former Soviet bloc.
Well, West Berlin would be, NATO.
Sometimes I make a statement that has nothing to do with what you said before.
Yeah.
Was this one of those times?
It was, in fact, it was. So, anyways, moving forward, we've got going on this weekend. Katsucon, that's where Joe Colton is now. Tonight, she's the 7-foot tall chick dressed as Wednesday Addams, and then tomorrow she will be. I think that's Belle from Beauty and the Beast in her fighting garb, and then on Sunday she will be dressed warmly. I don't.
It's not a costume. It's just a low forecast going out.
Right. I think it's just supposed to be cold in Washington D.C. But you can catch Katsucon at the Gaylord National Hotel and Convention Center in National Harbor, Maryland, which is just a fancy way of saying Washington D.C. Registration info and ticket info is available for you at katsucon.org. Big on the anime. It's kind of spread out into other forms of our fun little geek world. But if you're in the area, by all means, go check it out and tell Joe Colton we sent you. Josiah Alcorn asks, any input on how the Kentucky Joe show went? I hear it went pretty well. I have some friends who were around the Louisville area, and they all came back with some pretty good hauls. That is a good show. We make fun of the website, but that is a good show. I absolutely endorse getting to Louisville when that show goes on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't there to slip in and out. So,
right.
It runs like a well-oiled machine.
Oh, goodness. Lako J78 says, excited to meet Larry Hama at PeoriaCon first weekend in March. Well, send us an email and we'll get it on here. Would we get to that in time? I don't know. Let me check the old calendar real quick. The old actual calendar, not the community calendar.
Have one more week in between.
Yeah, no, we would get to that. We would. There is another show between now and then, so yeah, could happen. Yeah, send us a link or a photo or something. We'll get it in here. Come on, button. Let's work for me. Okay, there we go. What? Oh, there we go. There we go. I apologize, folks. That it's a tough night in StreamYard. Sometimes my little virtual buttons are not doing their jobs. Next up on the calendar, HickoryCon in Hickory, North Carolina.
Hickory.
That is also this weekend. It is tomorrow, 10 to 5 at the Hickory Metro Center. $5 adults, $3 admission for kids under 13. Kids under 3 are free. Details can be found at HickoryCon on Facebook or hickorycomiccon.com. Looks like they've got Renee Jacobs, who is the voice of April O'Neil on the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon. It seems to be their theme this year is Ninja Turtles. But that's cool. I hear she's a great guest. So, Phil, you're a little younger than the rest of us. Were you in on Ninja Turtles?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Probably got like Shredder 2 or 3 times. I know I got April twice because I broke the leg off the first one. So, and of course, by the time I got the second one, the head and paint deco had totally changed. So it's very confusing.
Right. I mean, of course, that's how they get you. I always it was a cartoon that I used to enjoy watching, but I had no desire to buy the toys. I was at that point where it was like I was still in on the things I was in on before, but like I was 11, 12, so I just didn't feel like picking up new toys at that point.
Like later on, they had a Ninja Turtle that transformed into the Ninja Turtle driving the party wagon. How could you not want that toy?
Fair question, but I think by that point I probably wasn't paying much attention at all.
For shame.
I mean, Phil, that's what age does to us. We get weird as teenagers and in college, and then we start getting into our late 20s, and we realize, wait, I liked who I was when I was a kid better, and we start acting like that again.
Yeah, no, the weirdness I had in my teenage years was never actually stopping liking this. So damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I guess. Any thoughts, Bryan Lower?
Since you mentioned Ninja Turtles, I do remember when that cartoon came out, and I did get that first wave of action figures more out of curiosity than anything, and they were super clunky. But my youngest daughter has decided that she is now a Ninja Turtles fan and likes all of the iterations of them. And she's a big fan of Donatello. So now I have to get her every Donatello that I find. So
that is fun.
All the fangirls like Donatello for some reason.
Yeah. It stood the test of time. You know, it's now multi-generational.
I mean, that's cool though. That's cool. Like all this stuff is in now. Like our generation, when we were in our late teens, early 20s, it was not cool to like this stuff. Now, for the current generation, it is cool to like this stuff in your late teens, early 20s. We were all just pioneers and trailblazers and didn't even know it. Matt Rubin's got a good question for the panel real quick. Has anyone encountered total asshole celebrities at conventions? Phil Donnelly, you're out in Los Angeles way. You've probably been to more of these than the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've actually encountered asshole celebrities because I have met quite a few through various Comic Cons and signing events, but yeah, none who really didn't seem like they wanted to be there. So I guess I'm lucky in that respect.
Yeah, even like I have to say that most of the time, in my encounters with folks who are either celebrities or former athletes or things like that, they're generally pretty cool. There's a couple of small horror stories. There's even some times where I've met folks who I knew were not good people, but they were still nice. Yeah, so I don't want to get into that here, but yeah, so for the most part, they're getting paid to be there, so they can't look that bad.
And you're paying them for their signature, so yeah, they're very happy to see you.
Right, Marty Jannetty at Joe Fest a few years back. That's an exception. He needed to be removed, but even then, he was just being a little too nice. So, anyways, Bryan, you got any horror stories?
Not really. Everybody that I've met has been at least all right, at least not an asshole. Larry Hama, for those who plan to meet him, he can sometimes be a little prickly. but he wasn't an asshole. You know, he was nice.
Yeah, no, the warning with Larry is he's just very dry. He's a New Yorker through and through.
Sure.
So you have to be. You have
just know what to expect. But not a real asshole. Most of the people that I've met at cons have been like YouTube people and like people that I've worked with, and some of those have turned out to be assholes, but they don't really count as celebrities. So yeah.
There are very few YouTube celebrities that count as actual celebrities.
That's a different category. So
I believe most of them were celebrities before they went to YouTube.
I guess I don't really have any horror stories. I've met maybe a couple people who were sort of indifferent, but they weren't rude or mean or anything like that. That's most I got.
Matt Rubin says, I remember meeting the Iron Sheik in an early iteration of Steel City Con. He was rather unappreciative. See, I met Iron Sheik once, and he was just the nicest guy alive. So maybe you just caught him on a bad day. One of the very few, like, I don't really do autographs, but I have the Iron Sheik's autograph because he's the Iron freaking Sheik. And, but he was very nice.
Perhaps he had just run into the jabroni Hulk Hogan.
It could have been. Maybe that's it, Matt. Maybe that's the problem there. Where he heard that the jabroni Hulk Hogan was getting paid more than him or something. I don't know. Michael Kleppinger said, I heard one G.I. Joe voice guest that was making fun of everyone that left his table. Very off-putting. Well, that's unfortunate. Because we've talked to a lot of those folks on the show, and the next one we meet that is nasty to us will be the first. They have all been just wonderful folks. They are as nice off the show as they were on the show. Sean Russell says, I met this Mike Irizarry guy at 2012 JoeCon. He was very nice. That is a lie.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that one. I met that guy at JoeCon 2012 too, and
that is incorrect. That is a lie. Sean and I got stuck in line together in New Orleans together, so we've sweat together. There's a bond there.
You stewed in your own juices.
Exactly. Like it was us and Dave Draper all together. Yeah, it was.
And then he gave Dave a big old hug.
Gave Dave a big old hug.
All I got was a pen.
Matt Rubin said, it's all right. Captain Lou Albano gave my friend extra swag after witnessing the way she could talk to us, so there was a bonus. Well, there you go. Captain Lou, making it all right.
They got extra rubber bands.
So that's how you know Mario's a good guy.
He was swinging his arms from side to side. Up next, we've got the Indiana Retro Expo Toys and Comics. That is forward a couple weeks on March 11th in Semo, Indiana. Check them out on Facebook, and that's the title you want to type into your search bar: Indiana Retro Expo Toys and Comics. Haven't been to this one. I'm kind of hoping to get there. I'd like to see it. It's the first time they're doing this show. I don't know the Seymour, Indiana area very well. It's around Bloomington, I believe. Isn't that where John Mellencamp lives, Rob?
I think so.
But where does John Cougar live?
Out in the shed.
The 80s. The early 80s.
Early 80s. He died out there in 1983. So we'll
he died on an SCTV rerun.
With any luck, we'll have a report to give you on the Indiana Retro Expo Toy and Comic Show. Maybe we'll see Andrew Garrison out there. He's at all.
Yeah,
anything close to local, we see the Garrison boys. I know Andrew's in the live chat tonight. Is Charlie in there too, or is he pretending he's got something better to do? We'll find out.
He's working.
The slave drivers at Kokomo Toys don't keep them that late. So next up, we've got the next Toyman show, number 2 on the year. They're running 8 this year. That's on March 12th. That is the next day. In the Machinist Hall in Bridgeton, Missouri, from 9 to 2. That is Sunday, March 12th. $5 admission. $15 early bird at 8 a.m., but there's enough there to make that extra $10 worth it. That is 2 floors of toy vendors selling all kinds of toys, art, comics, DVDs, games, going back to the 20s and 30s all the way forward. Yeah, Charlie's here. Good on you, Charlie. Way to answer the call. You can get more details on Facebook. Just look up Toyman Show, or you can visit their website at toymanshow.com. But again, if you're anywhere close to St. Louis, if you're within a couple hours of St. Louis, get to this show. Never disappoints. Always good stuff at Toyman Show. And that's the calendar. Oh, wait. I've double-clicked. Thank you, buttons. So that's community calendar. Let's go ahead and play another trippy exit sequence.
Let's see what we get.
Brutal chest cut.
Shipless layabout. Shipless layabout.
I can see the music, man. The colors.
And remember, if you've got a show for us, send us an email, whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. Stonegate Creations asked the immortal question, any toy shows in the boondocks of South Texas? I know we've covered a few from San Antonio before, so I know how close you are to that one. But really, whatever people send us, that's what we talk about. So that's the easy way to answer that question. If that's the spot you want to stake out, well, hey, go for it. Let us know. We'll we don't have much of a megaphone, but if you've followed us at all over the last 12 years, you'll know that our one advantage is we will use our tiny megaphone again and again and again, long past the point where people are sick of us. And again,
real addiction.
Thanks to our friend and regular viewer Absorbvids for the community calendar intros tonight. We got I think he's made 6 or 7 of them at this point. We have not seen them all.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Doug Dello. I sent one from Houston to the end of March. I sent it because Larry will be there. Yes, I've got that one primed and ready to go. This is like the last week that one's not on. I don't want to get too far ahead because we actually people have been good about sending us community calendar stuff. So if I sent everything that everybody had, not only would we be doing community calendar for 2 hours, but we'd be doing shows from August, and it's the end of February, and we just nobody needs that much pub, right?
Yes. Set aside some space on the calendar.
Right.
That's good.
Got to give it its run, but too much run, that's a thing. That's a thing. So, well, gentlemen, what do you say we get to the news?
Let's do it.
The news.
All right. We get.
And what did that just spell?
I love when we don't have to even get prompted for that sort of.
No, that's my second swear word.
So, first news item. Hey, there it was. I kind of ruined the spoilers on that one before. So, the Hasbro Pulse stream set for February 14th was postponed.
It was a whale of a show.
Right. Forward a few weeks to line up with the pre-order releases, it turns out. So, I know I didn't have a good feeling about it, considering the layoffs that had happened last week. I was thinking, oh Lord, something's happened to the team. It turns out not really. Past that one guy, the sculptor, being let go. But no, it was just some logistical things that meant that the pre-orders would not be ready to go until March 8th. So that's the reason for the delay, according to both Lenny and Emily on their Instagram accounts. So yeah, not any worse news than we had heard before out of Hasbro regarding the delay in the fan stream. But hey, we got a couple of new talking heads. We can ask you guys, since we're not going to. After this, we've only got one more show before this happens, I think. But Brian, what do you say? What's the one thing we're going to see out of the Hasbro G.I. Joe fan stream that we what's going to be new? What do you think we're going to see?
They're going to tell me where my engines are.
I don't think you'll know that by that point.
No.
Yeah. It'd be nice though.
Oh, I really don't know. I'm not sure that I don't know. Pass.
Phil, what do you think we're going to see?
I would like to see a render for Hawk because, we got the name only reveal, but I just want to make sure it's somewhere in the ballpark of what I'm imagining in my head.
I am hoping myself for Fun School Bomb Squad Tripwire.
Purple and red. It's a winning combination.
So, gentlemen, I'll ask you guys the question that I've posed to the regular hosts as well. They're probably going to release another name for next year. Who's the one character that we haven't seen yet or heard about yet that you want to see in the classified line? We'll start with you, Phil.
Oh, just put me on the spot right away.
Yep.
Lifeline.
All right. Poor choice, but fine.
Or Doc. Maybe somebody to patch up the people who've been shot.
I would be pretty enthused about Doc myself. How about you, Brian?
Have they done Road Pig yet? Because I could go for a Road Pig.
That would be outstanding.
Get some more Dreadnoughts rolling in here.
We have not seen anything official about Road Pig. We have seen Lenny talk at length about how much he wants to do Road Pig. So I really am anticipating that at any point. But no, Road Pig would be outstanding.
Road Pig needs to be in his Jersey Shore Supersonic Fighter colors, or I'm out.
They need to get Torch first. As much as I do want to see a Road Pig, though.
Like an orange skin, green hair.
That'll be the Target exclusive. They'll do that one first.
If you've got a selection, don't put it in the live chat. Put it in the big comments down below. That's where we want to hear you. That's where we want to hear you talk to us. We want to hear your selections for antiquity, because we will be keeping score. Ragtime Rob, but I know you've given your answer before, but who's the one guy that hasn't been done in classified yet that you want to see?
Well, like I said, I think the next biggest names on the Joe side are Alpine and Ripcord. Then on the Cobra side, I think it's an Eel or Torch.
Yeah, solid on both points. And you know me, I'm Flash ride or die until it happens.
I'll get your Grand Slam first, just to annoy you.
Screw that. Oh my God, I will riot. I promise. I won't riot, but I won't be happy. When the guy who couldn't get in the cartoon shows up before my second favorite dude from the entire line, well, that would give me problems. And Eel would be awesome on the Cobra side. That's really that's the biggest troop builder, or the most popular, or the from Joe's heyday that we haven't seen yet. So that would be. So yeah, that's that. I think the big news item. I have a feeling we're going to hear something about the O-ring line. We haven't for a long time. Basically Sky Striker came and went. The Stinger was this surprise thing out of nowhere. I have a feeling we'll start hearing about some of these O-ring projects again.
We got a few rumored Transformer.
I think that might roll down a little bit later. Just simply because they said that they had no plans on the O-ring stuff for 2023.
Sure, but even at this point, if it's in the planning stage now, it might not be until 2024.
Yeah,
and like Phil said, there have been some rumors regarding crossover vehicles and figures included there. So I think I think something's gonna come of that talk. But all right. Christian Carlo M. Villarasa says, "Good morning from the Philippines." Oh, well, welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for joining us. Torpedo Mike, that stinger sold out way too fast. It was a quick one. It really was. Yeah. I was lucky that I was able to get that email right when it came through that day. I remember. But yeah, that's it. So we'll see you again in the aftermath of March 8th on this one. Next news item. Hey, Mezco earlier this week announced the Firefly 12-inch figure that they announced back in July of 2021. Thanks for that, guys. Appreciate it. This is the weirdest reveal, and I use that term very loosely and put it in quotes because they just, I think they thought we forgot, and honestly, I had. But this is the internet. There's always a nerd that won't let you forget that they know about things. So an interesting reveal in that it's a year and a half old, and they seem to want to continue to treat it like it's new. So yeah, I wasn't buying this before. I'm not buying it now. Thanks, Mezco.
We still haven't gotten any of the Mezco figures.
No, none of them have come through.
From 2 years.
Not Destro, not Roadblock, not Snake Eyes, and now Fire. I mean, so maybe some nice words about why things are taking so long. Like I think if there was ever an audience for people wanting to hear those reasons, this is it, right? Like we are still dealing with the ripple effects from the pandemic in the last couple of years. So I think if you just came out and said, "Hey, this is taking a while. Stick with us. We'll get this stuff to you as soon as possible." That then. But
people were freaking out today because that Keaton Batman they solicited was finally going to start shipping.
So, right, and that was how long ago, Phil?
That was also 2 years, apparently.
Okay, yeah, right. So thanks for that, Mezco. Thanks for that.
That's kind of Mezco's MO, particularly with this 1/12 line.
Yeah, I mean, just acknowledge that there's delays, right?
Yeah.
You got like a Christopher Reeve Superman I'm still waiting on.
Up next news item. Hey, it's Total Action Force softcover edition for the battle years. It is funded.
Total funded force.
Right. We got about 10 days to go, so you can certainly go to this project and pledge with confidence, as we like to say. Pledge with confidence. There are some stretch goals to unlock. As far as bonus pages, stuff that was not included in the hardcover.
That's how they grab you.
Right? You start getting close to that, man. I don't want to miss out on new material. This is really one of my favorite Joe print projects. So I don't want to miss out on bonus pages. So get yourself over to Kickstarter, type in Total Action Force. This will pop up right for you. Don't miss out on this. As somebody who's got the hardcover books, they are fantastic. Just take the opportunity to grab this book and get it for your coffee table. Brian, you get in on this one?
I haven't yet, but I intend to before February 27th because this is also one that I think is really cool.
You not do the hardcover?
I did not do the hardcover.
Oh, come on, man. We told you.
I know, but I'm not. Dirty little secret. I'm not that much of a G.I. Joe fan. Yeah. Take it or leave it.
Fake fan.
I thought it was weird that some of the reviews that you did from 7 and 8 years ago, about halfway through, it's just you combing your hair in the bathroom mirror.
Yeah. They got to pad it out somehow.
Segued into that.
Run out of
just calling Snake Eyes Snake Mouth.
Right. Kept calling him grimy. Weird. Very weird. Glad you've come around, though.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to throw in a little bit more quality there, so I'm plagiarizing more sources.
All right.
Excellent.
It's called research.
Yeah, I'm researching more sources.
Call it fair use, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just clip everybody, clip the people who do those interviews, clip them out, and just use that footage.
Edit in your own reaction shots.
Oh,
yeah, so it works. Because I mean, depending on what, if I'm doing an interview, depending on what the person says, I can add any questions I want. It's great. It's great. Very flexible format.
Between the two ferns with Hood and Cobra Commander 7.
Yeah.
Tonight's guest, AFL-CIO head George Meany.
Yes, and so George, what was your favorite G.I. Joe action figure?
Well, Krusty. Next news item. There we go. Somebody's gonna give me doots. I don't care who it is. But After Action Report Command Files is live on Kickstarter. Is underway and off to a good start. It's already about 25% funded. Got a long way to go. This is a 2-month job, so you got lots of time to get your funds squared away. It looks like it's going to be a bigger book than the first 2 comic guides that they've done. I've got a sample page here that they have on their Kickstarter page. You can see that is Duke, one of the more obscure Joes.
Never heard of him.
Through his various incarnations in both animation and print media and figures and what have you. So lots of great information. You can see, just imagine a whole book of this with everybody on the team. That's fantastic. Going to fund until the morning of April 15th. So get your taxes done and then pledge the book. Sounds like a plan.
We'll definitely be getting this one. I have gotten in on After Action Report, and I do really like those books. But this kind of print reference material, that's the kind of thing that I eat up. I need that stuff.
Right. Diana Davis says it's a shame he's not so well known.
Yeah,
it is. I like it when the lesser known Joes like this get the spotlight. So. But,
I have no use for cataloging fictional universes.
Says the guy who bought the Marvel Universe Omnibus last week.
Yeah, and the Who's Who Omnibus before that.
Right.
I got to get the update Omnibus. I saw it on sale for like $40.
You needed a doorstop.
There you go.
I got one for every door in the place now.
Right. What we've got is a rat problem, and Rob, you can just heave giant books at them.
Right.
It's a good thing they're not New York rats. They just catch them and throw them right back.
Right.
Yeah.
They just catch it in their mouth.
The New York rats are packing heat.
Oh, goodness. So, yes, get yourself over again. While you're at Kickstarter checking out After Action Report, go ahead and, or while you're checking out Total Action Force, check out After Action Report as well, and get yourself educated. Talk to the folks themselves. Watch their little video. Look at the nice pictures, and pledge to their project, because this is a great one from a great team that have given us some quality projects just in the last couple of years. Or so help me, we're sending Donnelly after you.
I'm doing what now?
Exactly. He doesn't even know how mad he's going to be. You heard him right there. He doesn't even know.
He just kind of leaves his body and becomes a hurricane of teeth and fingernails.
Is that why I have memory issues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total Action, After Action, is there pre-action? Well, Diana, there is, but that just kind of depends how much you drink. So, anyways, next news item. Hey, just another reminder. Operation Recall's backer kit closes soon. If you remember, initially, the guy behind this, Carson Metaxas, our former co-host and purveyor of 3D Joes, was supposed to be our guest tonight. We would both be reviewing the Hasbro G.I. Joe live stream and going over the details of Operation Recall as the backer kit came to a close. And the one piece of information that he had for me in advance was it's not closing on the 28th.
Ho ho.
but it will be sometime shortly after that. So make sure you're getting yourself over to operationrecall.backerkit.com. Check out their fine wares. Again, these are characters that were created by fan submission, chosen from a huge list. I know I sent in a submission. It was probably the first one dismissed, and probably in a violent manner, involving both fire and firearms. But still, lots of great ideas did get accepted and are being turned into little plastic head compatible with our O-ring GI Joes. So get over and check this out. Even if you don't buy, man, just take a look at what's going on. It's just an amazing project. All the work is being done by the creators from the old GI Joe run, from Kirk Bazigian, from Larry Hama, from Bill Merkline. Just again, and all the money that's being made by this project is going to help support them. So it's all the old guard getting back together for another roundup, and they're doing some just great stuff. So yeah, Barking Fridge is correct. Carson is soaking up the Florida sun, working on Operation Recall. He is. The call came late that he was able to get down there and do some filming rather. With some of the team, so we absolutely no problems with him canceling on us. Lord knows he's got better things to do in regards to making this project happen. So we're happy to talk to him after the work is done.
I got in on this one early, so
good.
I'm
for a change.
That was an easy call. Carson's a great guy, and this is just a really cool project. I mean, it's a really cool project with like all the bits of it are cool. The way they did the fan selection, character selection was cool. The way they're doing the pre-production and bringing in the GI Joe creative team is cool. It's just the whole thing is really cool. This was an easy choice.
So get in now. Enjoy the Kickstarter pricing on these figures. Phil, how many dozen figures did you buy from Operation Recall?
Probably not more than one. I did fill out the backer kit a while ago, so I'm having trouble remembering exactly how many. But yeah, I don't think it was that many.
It sounds like you need to go back to operationrecall.backerkit.com and buy some more.
Maybe I should.
Next news item.
Dooby-dooby-doo.
There we go. And that's our last news item. As you can see, Chunky Tank Kitty is here to close out the news. He's presented by Kokomo Toys and Collectibles. Here in his Meowler tank, facing you down and preparing you for death. Sweet death.
Sweet release.
Brian, that might be what Alistair shows up in later.
Yeah, he's at the moment he's not destroying anything. So knock on wood, cross your fingers.
So he's assembling the tank.
He doesn't need a tank. He is a tank.
Hey, even Superman has his Supermobile.
Jason gets tired of flying. He could get tired of flying.
Look, again,
Red Sun, Kryptonite.
So he then has to operate heavy machinery.
Superman has the Supermobile.
Boy, are his arms tired. He
has the Supermobile to prevent exposure to kryptonite and to engage in superhero business in systems with a red sun. The Supermobile is absolutely a logical choice for him.
I'd like to see him use those punching arms to just take one hit at Lex Luthor and see what happens.
Right? I mean, he's got a car. With hands. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Luthor figure on that one.
Right. We got the stupid Batman who laughs. We can't have a Lex Luthor yet. That doesn't make.
Hey, they are doing Black Manta though.
I mean, that's awesome. I don't want to take away from that, but
yeah, Batman. I didn't even buy that thing.
Lex Luthor.
I really would have liked it if they'd made like Batgirl, that whole canceled wave of superpowers that they were planning.
Batgirl wasn't in that one.
No, that's a rumored inclusion, but she was not actually there. Anyways, before we get off on too far of a tangent, let's stop for just a second. Get a word in from our fine sponsors at Kokomo Toys.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
Now back to what's on your mind?
Such as it is. So, remember, if you're not anywhere close to Kokomo, Indiana, and Lord knows, none of us really are, you can always find Kokomo Toys on eBay. Just search for them at their eBay store. Always a great selection of everything from modern figures to retro figures to prototypes and one-shots and things like that. So check them out on eBay if you're not anywhere in northern Indiana. We're about 45 minutes away from Kokomo Toys here at the What's on Joe Mine compound, and Lord knows it feels like about a 6-hour drive. There's nothing actually physically between the two spots.
Yeah,
it is just if we're lucky, corn on the farmland. If we're lucky,
yeah. Where we are in Indiana, we do not have to drive far to hit not much.
Yeah.
Slightly longer commute for me.
Yeah, there are Indiana's
half-hour north.
Indiana's kind of a weird state. There's a lot of cities in Indiana of good size, but just nothing in between. Absolutely nothing to look at. Not even hills.
No, you gotta go south for hills.
Yeah,
go Seymour.
You go to Seymour. Yeah, there we go. So, sorry, I'm getting caught up in the live chat a little bit.
They're saying hi to each other.
Hello, everyone.
Weber Kitty is still scarier. Weber Kitty he's a big dude. He's like a gorilla in cat's clothing with his 17 toes. We need to get him back. We need another Weber cat video. You know, we have a TikTok account. We have little snippets up on TikTok, and that is the one that is least viewed. Is the one with Weber's cat, which strikes me as odd because if TikTok is nothing else, it is the place where America and the world parks its cat videos. I thought we'd do a cat video and blow up. Nope, nothing. People want to see Joe Colton eating soup, but they don't want to see Mark's fun cat.
Wasn't even one of the good soups.
No, it's fa. You know, it's not even chunky soup.
Chunky soup.
It was in a chunky bowl though. The bowl was the size of her head. I remember she's 7 feet tall.
Without heels.
Right. Oh goodness. Anthony Romo thinks we're ignoring the chat. No, we're not ignoring the chat, but you guys are chatting with yourselves. So what am I going to do? Put that on the screen. Who cares?
Say something interesting.
Chat with yourselves. Have fun.
Pander to us better.
I don't want to discourage that, but not like you're asking us questions. So whatever. So, but anyway, thank you for joining us all the same. We do appreciate that. Even if we are just the background noise for your actual social activity, whatever. +1. Thanks for being here. So it brings us to what folks have seemingly come from all corners to see tonight. I don't really understand why, but here he is with photos thanks to Badkins88811 on Instagram. That is your Lieutenant Falcon figure, soon to be in your mailboxes from the fine folks at Hasbro Pulse and other retailers. He's not pretty. I'll put that out there. But wow, the firestorm on this one. So we'll go to our guest first, Hoodro.
Looks better with my glasses off.
Right. That's fair.
So I've seen some photos where he doesn't look quite so bad, but I've also seen some. I've looked up some video reviews where we can see the head from different angles. The eyes have like a droop to them, and that the lipstick that he's wearing is definitely too dark a shade for his complexion. So yeah, it's rough. It could be worse, certainly, but the thing is, like, you can get it at an angle where it looks okay, and you can put it in a certain light and it looks fine. But the problem with action figures is that they're 3-dimensional. So you see them from different angles, and it can look a little bit rough. When I first saw it, I thought, are they? And I actually got this down. Are they trying to like do an homage to like the 60s action soldier? And then I kind of looked at them side by side, and I'm like, no, that's not it. That's not it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have it in hand, and I always try to withhold judgment until I can actually see it in person. So I will withhold my final judgment until I can actually see the thing. I went back and looked at the digital renders, and this is the sculpt. All right, it is the sculpt that they previewed, but the lip color was not quite so, it didn't quite have that contrast,
right?
And of course the digital render is straight on, but this guy, you can't really tell it from these photos, but the eyes have a droop to them that it's very hard to explain. I don't quite understand that choice. So yeah, it's not pretty, but I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that when I actually get this in hand and get it in front of my own eyeballs, that it looks better than some of the photos and videos I've seen.
Right. How about you, Phil?
I'm getting real Marv from Sin City vibes here. It's just kind of big square jaw and mouth. Yeah, is that the best you can do? And I don't know so much if the eye is drooping as it is. He's got like one eye kind of squinted when one eye is a little bit larger, and it's kind of giving an effect of droop. But
what do you think of our artistic renderings here as an alternative?
We've got that 1,000-yard stare down pat.
Yeah, that's the Phil Donnelly head superimposed on there from our thumbnail graphic. So, anyways, but yeah, it's not strong. How about your thoughts here, Ragtime Rob?
I've seen worse.
True. Look, I mean, my biggest issue with it is the mouth. Like, that lip coloring is kind of weird and off-putting.
They made him an autumn, and he should be a summer.
Yeah, it's not the best. I mean, truthfully, I don't know what we're expecting necessarily, because there's going to be, like, obviously not every head sculpt is going to be the best. Some of them are just going to be better than others. And this happens to be one that maybe doesn't strike people's fancy. I think it looks a little better without the beret. But at the same time, like, what surprises me the most about this isn't so much, like, it's one thing to look at it and say, that's pretty ugly. But it's something else to just go nuts, as some people have. That's the part of it I don't get. Like, there's so much energy being spent on this. Like, if you don't like the head, swap in a different head. If you don't want to spend the money on a different figure to swap the head, then don't. And just, but that's the guy. Like, I can appreciate that they're not gonna all look the same, right? Like we got this line of different characters that we embrace the differences of, and yet we seem to be very upset anytime something, one of them does not fit in what our narrow view of handsome is. I mean, it's a big team. Sometimes some dude's just gonna be ugly.
I think the lip color, I think that's a big part of the problem, because I think it accentuates like the broadness of the mouth and the chin. I think the head sculpt on its own might not actually be that bad.
No.
And this may be a factory thing. This may be like the factory used the wrong shade in the paint sprays. I don't know. The digital render didn't quite look like this, and I think I really think that if it's really distracting. I'm just staring at it right now. I can't stop staring at it. But I think the lipstick really it accentuates the facial features in an unflattering way.
Maybe he just had a popsicle.
Maybe he likes the cherry ones. Somebody has to. Personally, I find them distasteful.
I like the cherry ones.
Were we all hoping for an unlicensed Don Johnson likeness?
Grape or death is all I'm saying. Grape.
Well, grape's the best, but
But I mean, it's not the best one. It is not the best head we've seen on the line. Clearly, the most handsome guy in G.I. Joe Classified is Barbecue. Because he's so good looking that they can't take his helmet off, because otherwise it would just be too damn distracting.
It'd be causing traffic accidents everywhere.
he's partnered with Mighty Man. Anyways, but
wow,
I think what you've got is correct, Brian. I think it's that lip color is kind of setting everything else off. It draws a lot of attention to the bad part of the sculpt. He's got I think the paint is worse on this than the sculpt is.
Yeah, I'd really like to see it either with a more subtle lip color or just no lip color, and then kind of judge it from there. It's hard to look past it to kind of imagine what it would be like without that paint spray. But I'd like to see it without that paint application and just see what kind of difference it makes. So
Hasbro made this make us forget about your missing Sky Striker part.
Great. See, look here. Remember this. Anytime anybody thinks I get any preferential treatment from Hasbro, look, to the extent that Hasbro even knows who I am, they're like, how can we get rid of this guy?
Look, the fact that you're a semi-regular on this show kind of puts you on the blacklist, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, see, so when I get one, they'll just make sure it's worse. That one's going to look like the Joker.
I buy all of my Hasbro Pulse orders are under an assumed name.
That's wise. That's wise.
Vince Demis says, "Why does Falcon look like Dick Sargent from Bewitched?"
I couldn't afford Dick York.
Wanted Dick York.
I mean, clearly, because I mean, what fun is it to have Lieutenant Sargent? I think that's what you have to embrace here, Lieutenant Sargent. Dick Sargent. Wow. You know what? I think that might be our statement, our fan statement of the night, because really our show has not delved much into Bewitched, but it seems like something we would do. It's more of a Gary Godso era kind of statement, but I think it still works.
At the right angle, you get the Zorana figure to look like Andorra.
Yeah.
Well, Dick Lieutenant does kind of describe his character in that movie.
Right. Photo Viper notes
dangerously close to fragged Lieutenant.
He looks like he's wearing eyeliner as well. Yeah, he does. Again, it's. I think really the issue with this is more the paint apps than it is the sculpt. But I don't think that we as a fan base are doing a good job of articulating that.
If I might make an articulated point.
I might make a hooded Cobra. That doesn't work. Never mind.
Move along.
But so, and I did want to take a minute to address there's lots of amateur toy manufacturers out there prescribing fixes that Hasbro should, in quotes, do. First off, it's technically not broken. It's a head on a figure. You'd be more upset if it wasn't there. But second off, that's the figure, right? I mean, there's no fix. They're gonna stop the shipment, drag them all back to the factory, pop all the boxes open, and throw a new head in there. That's not going to happen. So anybody who's got your ear with something like that is madness. Okay. Buy the figure. If it's too off-putting for you, don't. If you want Falcon in your collection, as most of us do, and it still bothers you, find a different figure's head to swap it out with.
Do some paint touch-ups on your own. Yeah.
Or something like that. I do fully intend to find my bottle of rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip and get that mouth paint off of there. That is going to happen. But that's going to be the extent of it. Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a handsome head sculpt, but at the same time, as I said earlier, I'm happy that he doesn't look like everybody else. They should look different.
This is after making out with Jinx. That's what this is.
I mean, she's got a mask on, so she's not going to leave a whole lot of.
We takes the
dye leached out.
We shouldn't make out
The
with
dye
the
leached out,
on.
exactly.
It's like putting your white socks in with your red mask.
Well, no, even if she did, I'm not here to kink shame, Jinx and Falcon, how they do it.
Right. Jose Alcorn here with a great statement. They do have a literal custom head option to Hasbro at that scale.
Yeah, we've seen what that turns out like.
Right. It's like Phil's doughy cousin. That's what
This is better than the smush face they gave him in 25th anniversary.
Right.
It looked like somebody stuck a thumb in that thing.
Yeah, right. You want to look at a bad Falcon head, 25th anniversary. Woo!
Looked like a Dick Tracy villain.
Making this guy look like he belongs on a magazine cover.
Flat top.
Flat face. Anyways. So that's that. I don't know if everyone was expecting us to just sit and go crazy on Lieutenant Falcon for half an hour, because frankly, there isn't that kind of, like, it's not worth that kind of energy.
I will say that again, I'm withholding with judgment until I get it, but the non-removable knife on the strap there, that may be a bigger issue for me than the head sculpt, because at this scale, I'd like to see that as an accessory, removable. He has a knife on the backpack, but then we've got a sculpted knife that's totally acceptable at a smaller scale, but at this scale, I feel like that shouldn't just be decorative. So we'll see, but I have a feeling that may be something that I will be pointing out.
I agree. That is a far more egregious problem with this figure. Yeah. So if there are taking suggestions for improvements on a second run, this is ours right here. Phil Donnelly head.
I already got the Tiger Force Outback, so I got my custom figure. So I'm good.
Yeah, you're set. You're in.
Yeah.
Got your headband and everything.
Yeah.
Get a haircut, you hippie.
Loco Basswalker, and that's a new name. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, by the way. Why are people losing their mind with Falcon and not Recondo? Recondo is ugly as fuck. It doesn't look like his classified box art, nor his original 80s card. His mustache is not even symmetrical. And you know what? If that's what you think about Recondo, fine. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. But that's kind of at the core of all this, right? Like, everybody's got a different opinion on how these guys should look. So just, it's all going to be okay. Buy it or don't buy it. It's all going to be okay. It's all going to be fine.
The sun will still rise.
It may. Someday that sucker's going out. Because I'm taking it out.
Since the beginning of time, man has thought to block out the sun.
Flip down the dark lenses.
So, what step of Mike's descent into supervillainy is this?
Oh, we're certainly there. So that's the long and short of the Lieutenant Falcon saga here at What's on Joe Mind. We are the classic middle of the road G.I. Joe podcast. Neither shills nor needlessly angry. And that's where we are with Lieutenant Falcon. Neither shilling for it nor needlessly angry. We're consistent that way.
I'm needlessly angry, but I'm hiding it. I'm not even needlessly angry at that, but on the inside, I'm seething.
Right. I have plenty of needless anger. Just none of it is directed at Lieutenant Falcon. I have priorities.
Overfilled. I'm barely in control right now.
That's your secret. You're always angry.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Always just on the edge. This is an edgy kind of show.
You're actually only 24 years old.
I have had gray hair since my early 20s. It's just always been that way. So it's there you go. Yes, I am in fact 22 years old. That's the hard living. That's what all this anger. That's what holding the anger in does to you. This is what it does to you. Let that go. Let it go.
That's a key that only works for so long. Yeah. So remember, if you're catching us on YouTube tonight, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to leave us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel is the most important thing you can do. You're already watching us, right? So past that, the most important thing you can do is subscribe to the channel. If you're catching us on Facebook, go ahead, leave us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. We appreciate that too, and that gets us circulated through the Facebook channels. If you're catching us on audio on the replay, go ahead and leave us a nice 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts from. We appreciate that. Let's keep driving that. Keep driving those subscription numbers. We'd like to be at 2,000 by the end of the year. And I've said from the beginning, if we get to 2,000 subscribers, I will never talk about subscriptions again. Promise. Hand to Bible. I don't care after that. We're monetized. I'd like to just have enough of a buffer to stay monetized.
Absolutely. And he'll bring me on to talk about subscriptions.
Right. I will have Racktime Rob, a professional educator, give a dissertation on subscriptions.
We're just going to do one annual telethon where we just do.
We should do a telethon.
Yeah, see,
that'll
cover it for the whole year.
Brian, you would kind of be in the Dean Martin role at that point. You'd have to come out and do a musical number.
Do we all have to wear tuxedos from the 70s?
Yes.
With the frill.
And make sure you unbutton the bow tie.
I'll bring out the Cobra Moray and be like, "Let's amore." Yeah, I can do it.
Outstanding.
I have no doubt of your ability to work a slew of dad jokes into a 4-minute musical number.
I can do this. In fact, I want to do this. Let's get this going.
For just one like a year, you too can help these poor gentlemen.
Michael Gene Fleming with the point of the night. You're never going to get your subscriber numbered up if you don't commit to more needlessly angry rants about minor issues.
That's why the peg holes on their feet should be larger.
There we go. Oh my goodness.
It goes going downhill. Get Joe back as quickly as you can.
Right. I mean, look, really the secret to it all, the one who maintains order most of all, the honcho Mark Weber. He's the honcho. The honcho. He's got the reputation. I don't know why people don't want to subscribe to a channel where we bring you somebody who used to run the G.I. Joe brand every freaking week. But whatever. and has a cat. for all you pet lovers. He's got a cat and a dog.
We all
of
can
them
hear
have
the
been on
dog.
show. Payne's Toy Sample says he's not wrong. Negative sells like sex. Yeah, we know. It's just not us.
Yeah.
You know what
Can't
sells?
waste that much energy.
Right. What doesn't sell is being fake and totally against who you actually are. And we
I
are
don't even
not,
like G.I. Joe.
like we
Yeah.
love this property, right? I mean, we're talking about Rob's 50th birthday tomorrow. That means that for 80% of his life, this is what he's been doing. The love is there, the passion is there, but life is too short. We're having too much fun to bitch endlessly about an ugly guy, one ugly figure out of a line of absolute fantastic toys. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
really
I
only here
remember-
because I thought the other guest was going to be Jennifer Connelly.
well,
Yeah, that happens a lot.
that would truly be the Rob birthday episode. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is better. What does Jennifer Connelly know about G.I. Joe? Probably nothing. This is way better. It's way
I
better.
don't know. She was in Top Gun.
She was in Top Gun Maverick.
She still might know more about F-14s than we do.
It's possible. It's possible.
That's
I don't know.
That's
Do you
not
know where my engines are?
They're gonna make you drive to your engines.
Come on,
You're gonna
man.
have to take the 405 up to the 19, connect over to the 7.
There it is.
Except the 7 will be jammed.
Nobody knows where your engines are, Brian. Nobody has any idea where your engines are. That's the problem.
That's right. I worked it in, Mark.
What do you say we get this in there one more time? Just to bring it home. There we go. That's our wish list, Hasbro. Phil Donnelly's head on the Lieutenant Falcon bot.
Phil Donnelly's head on a Falcon.
Phil, you did do selfie series, so you can probably make that happen.
That looks better than my selfie series.
Well, I would hope, since I used a photo of you.
I already have a Falcon.
All right. So what do you say we roll into what we got in? Phil, you're our guest tonight. Why don't you go ahead and get that started?
Well, speaking of ugly mugs, hey.
Hey.
I don't know how Wolverine pulls, but it sure ain't that face.
Well.
But me, I'm a sucker for that X-Men 275 cover, so centerpiece. Gotta start off somewhere.
He's a swarthy fellow. A little swarthy fellow.
Someone who's a little nicer on the eyes, if a little
but much more evil.
worse on your existence. Especially
God
if
help you if you're a broccoli person.
Still would, like, if I had gone out with Phoenix, she would not be the craziest redhead I had dealt with. No.
Well, speaking of lips on figures, Avalanche could probably do better.
Avalanche looks like he's making the fart noise.
Oh, he's discovering that he really needs to wash that helmet.
He's been in that bubble a long time.
Avalanche is in that bubble going. So
shouldn't have had the burrito before I got in here.
And what looks like an incredible Spiral figure, because look at all those arms articulation. That's like getting two figures for one articulation wise.
That's impressive engineering there. Yeah.
That gives her a lot of armpits.
It does.
And that means, she too could be making lots of fart noises in there.
Well, yeah, not only that though, but lucrative spokesperson deal with Native. So
that's all I got from this wave. There's also long shot and multiple man, but I got the long shot from the 3-pack, and I prefer the X Factor multiple man look. That's the one I have. But lastly,
Killer Weezer remarks, really quick, classified Blizzard would be awesome. I'd be in a heartbeat. Go on, Phil.
The comic for the X-Men Adventures Omnibus.
All right. That's probably not as much omnibus material as Ragtime Rob's piled up in the last week, but whatever.
No, but you see
I'm
all
still
those up
working on the
there.
Brave and the Bold.
Phil, someday we're gonna do the tour of the What's on Joe Mine compound, and you got nothing, my friend. You got nothing.
I think it's starting to buckle.
All of mine are buckling.
You got
I
nothing.
don't even have that many omnibuy.
I've got a few more that aren't on the shelf. They don't fit.
You got nothing, sir. Nothing.
All right. Well, that's all from me. For
I'm
this
surrounded by it every day, Phil. You got nothing. Bryan Lower, your feelings on the X-Men?
Well, I think they should be referred to as X-persons. But other than that, I was a big X fan back in the heyday, like back in the 90s when Jim Lee was on it, and then like all of the hot popular artists were doing all the X books. That was like it's not like the early days of comic books for me, but it was like the middle period. That's my middle phase of comic books, is that 90s era when everything was flashy drawings and not much story. So yeah, I have many fond memories of the X-Folk.
That's that one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I never cared for them. Ragtime Rob has slightly warmer feelings for them than I do, but I
have I have the original Cockrum Byrne run in the Essentials, and I bought the Astonishing X-Men when Cassidy was doing it, and that's it.
Right, like those are great.
Yeah.
But I just, like when the calendar turned to 1992 on the X-Men, I was done. I tuned out.
Well, I'm just collecting the Claremont run, that first Claremont run.
Oh, that's only 14 years.
Yes, that's almost done.
That's quite a run.
No big. No big. But, so what else you get in, Phil?
That's it for me. It's just a very X-Men centric shipments.
All right, then you're done here. Bryan, what'd you get in?
First of all, bring Phil back, bring Jennifer Connelly back. I got a few odds and ends for classified, like just some stuff that I had neglected to get, like Zorana here, and like I've got a Crimson Guardsman somewhere. But anyway, I picked up just a few odds and ends of classified figures, but I was looking for a Valentine's gift for my girlfriend. She is a fan of Stargate. Okay. I don't really know from Stargate, but when I was searching for something for her, I found something also for me that I didn't know existed, and it's this thing. It's a Stargate All Striker.
Yes.
Who knew about this? But why didn't you tell me about? Okay, look.
I have a whole archive I made of it.
You got to tell me these things. Yeah, anyway, so I got this.
Phil was the number 2 guy at yojo.com. He and I have both been part of Joe Classified for how many years now? Yeah, we kind of know about these things.
Yeah, well, not me. I'm new to this. All right. I only figured out, what the GI stands for last week.
Diana Davis knew. She knew.
Diana Davis, I got a few things to say about you. But first, I got to say a few things about these other people.
Careful, Bryan. You're taking your life in your hands.
All right, look, that's what I got in. Move on. Rage. This is what I'm talking about. It's just right there.
It's merely contained.
It's okay. You're only 22. You can't have been in the hobby that long.
Look it up.
He's seething like he's being played by Paul Giamatti.
His web signal's gone kaput.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I got in.
I had 2 bars. They are kaput. Ragtime Rob.
Well, I had nothing in until a box magically appeared in my room.
Right. It is special birthday unboxing version of what we got in for Ragtime Rob.
So here we go.
Provided his screen quits skipping.
Let's see what's in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box?
Get it on camera.
He's opening a cardboard box. It's nothing to see. We'll get it there.
I opened a cardboard box on camera.
Well, we can't all be you, Phil.
Not everybody's a pro like you, Phil.
It's a Batman thingy.
It's a bat thingy is the proper term.
Gotham City Under Siege, a game. From Batman, the animated series. Oh, cool. There's like a Batman in here and a Robin and a Batgirl and a Catwoman.
It's like we're seeing, various stop motion stills.
Yeah.
It's like after Gene Siskel got sick at the movies, like you'd see him talking about the movie, and it would just be like, that's kind of what we're getting on Rack Time Rob tonight.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. It's not
Yeah,
your fault. It's just but no, that's for the Batman fan who has everything. So
Yeah.
I figured that was something I did not even know existed about 3 weeks.
No, this is the first time I've seen of this.
I did not know it existed.
And I caught it on Instagram. I was like, okay, we got to find one of those.
Look, I could build a Gotham City.
Right.
Yeah, but should you?
Yes.
Yes.
Always. Yes.
Hey, look,
Start
if
with
Town and
Crime
Carl's
Alley.
going to give me the Wayne, the Wayne Manor study, then.
Yeah. Dave Allen says, the man who has everything Batman. Dave, really, you have no idea, man. He is, there's a lot of Batman going around the What's on Joe Mine compound.
He's currently wearing Batman underoos.
They're a little restrictive. I've grown since then.
Right. They make them in adult sizes now, so you can legitimately move up.
Well, why didn't you get him that for his birthday?
Because that would be creepy and weird.
Yeah.
He's my brother after all. I there's some things that I will not buy. Underwear is a lot of them.
Even for himself.
Right. I mean, it's just free.
And he's free.
Take
Free,
easy,
but never mind.
take easy joke. There's a legitimate question from the Killer Weezer there, Rob. Are you happy to see Michael Keaton's Batman come back?
Well, I got to say, it's the primary reason for me to want to go see the Flash film.
Right. I'm far more excited about another run with Michael Keaton as Batman than I am about Ezra Miller as the Flash. That's for sure.
Yeah, as I said, at least I have a reason to support the Ezra Miller stay out of jail fund.
Oh. You just got to wonder what the studio is thinking on that one, right?
I know exactly what they're thinking. We spent like $300 million on this. It's got to go.
he's guilty of kidnapping. All right, fall release.
Yeah.
Goodness. But Diana says her junior high algebra teacher had one of the early expensive full-on Batman suits.
Nice.
How can he afford that on a high school teacher's salary?
It was
That
the
is
Adam
not
West.
a way to protect your secret identity.
No, that's not at all. No, that is totally. Again, unless it was the Adam West suit, that would be awesome.
Hello, children.
Approve. Yes.
But Phil, what do you think of Michael Keaton Batman?
Yeah. Love it. Love that the Batmobile's in it too. I love the whole Kenner display of bat suits there. It's really
Yeah.
feeding an addiction I tried to leave behind me, so it's an enabler now.
Ryan, how about you?
I think it's really cool that Michael Keaton's getting into the MCU now. So I'm excited. I thought it was somebody else, but I don't know. Yeah, but I'll check it out.
Are you as big of a Batman fan as you are an X-Men fan?
At least as big as I'm a passing X-Men fan. I am like a slightly slower driving by passing Batman fan. So yeah.
More rubbernecking for Batman.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's Michael Keaton, and that suit did have a rubberneck,
Yeah.
so that
Exactly.
is
We're gonna have to turn like
So
that.
to look, he's got to do the whole thing.
For the entire upper body.
I'm Batman. Yeah.
That's one of the arguments for Batman Returns being a better movie is that it's not quite so off-putting when he turns his head.
Yeah. So it's it could it could be great. It could be fantastic. It could be the best Batman movie. It's not a Batman, but it could be the best Batman appearance since the previous Batman appearance.
Right.
The Batman.
Yeah, that one.
Which I still have not seen that one, so I can't.
Pretty good.
Can't give you any judgment on that one.
That one was the best Batman movie since the one before it. Absolutely.
I mean, sight unseen.
That's where it gets murkier.
Yeah.
Sight unseen.
Is that the Joker? Do you consider Joker a Batman movie? Bruce Wayne was in there, right?
No.
I saw one with Legos.
Justice League.
That was pretty good.
Ooh, yeah, those Lego Batman movies are pretty great. That's Jeff Butler says, "I have given a name to my pain, and it is Batman."
Where does he get all those wonderful toys?
Well, it's Target, the back half of the store, kind of over towards the right-hand side, aisle before the video games. If you hit Nintendo, you've gone too far.
Yeah, it is more or less the Batman section because that's all McFarlane does with the DC license. every wave of 8-inch figures is 5 Batman and one other character,
and none of them in the Batman costume I want.
Right.
Yeah, the actual Batman costume.
Have they done that yet?
I believe. Yeah, that was like they did the Action Comics 1000 cover Superman, which of course is very classic Superman, and they did a Detective Comics 1000 Batman, which was a very classic Batman.
So it wasn't the oval symbol.
I think they did a recolor on that.
I have that from like the very first wave. There was a recolor, but it's not quite right.
Nah.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn then. That guy, this guy right here, he's number 61, and he is right out of the package fresh. Tight joints and all the gear, and I mean, really, just one of the best ones in the entire collection. And it pays to buy in bulk. The same guy was selling 2 of them at once, so we got number 62 as well. And we paid not a lot for the 2 of them because, again, Costco people have it down. It pays to buy in bulk. So two beachheads added to the collection today or this week. We are
2 beachheads for the price of 1 3/4.
Probably more like 1.5, but still, that's good value. It's good value because I don't pay a lot anyway. Like people think that I just spend gobs and gobs of money on these figures. I really don't. I have a low line that I will not cross when I'm spending money on these things, and you just have to be patient and pick them up when you can, and that's what I do.
So a group of crows is a murder. What's a group of beachheads?
It is. I believe Michael Mercy called it a beach horde. I call it Beach Party 86. But
something like a beach blanket bongo or something like that.
It is an Avalon of beachheads.
Yes, that's it.
An Avalon. Doug
and
Deller
every night he
says,
feeds on a desk
wow.
of cheeses.
Anybody over or under a certain age is not going to get. Google it, guys. Just Google it.
Right. Rob is a documented old person now, and Brian's right up there in our class. Phil,
getting there.
Phil's a baby. Phil is like 26 years old. He looks terrible, but he's a young.
You need to blame mom for all that.
David Allen asks, do you like the TG beachhead, Mike? I don't know what TG means.
Maybe you meant Tiger Force. The F is right next to the G key.
Oh, well, maybe. The Tiger Force one, it's cool enough. I'm not super in love with it, but it was a con exclusive. I love that con set, but I love it because it was kind of cheesy. That was the one with the Tiger Force guys and all the identical Dreadnought cousins. Perhaps, I mean, thematically, it's the dopiest one they ever did, and I think that's why I love it so much.
The Patty Duke Dreadnoks.
Their family tree doesn't branch out too far.
No,
It's
no.
it's an aluminum pole.
Like some days when
That's somebody sliding on.
some days you call out
Dancing
Joe
on.
Bob and Vance shows up and he's totally confused. He really thinks he's Joe Bob. That Vance.
There was a Vance.
There was
Please
a
tell
Vance.
me there was a Koi.
There was not a Koi.
Damn it.
But we're cousins, identical cousins in every way.
Anywho,
Plays big in Shelbyville.
that's where marrying cousins is legal. Shelbyville.
Hey, it's somebody's attractive cousin. Oh, wait.
That's all I got in this week. Besides, Racktime Rob's birthday present. Actually, I got that in last week. It's been sitting in plain sight for like 2 weeks now. Oh, Tiger Force Patty Duke for the win. Yes, Jeff Butler. Yes, it is.
Yes.
All right. What do you say we move into shout outs? Phil Donnelly, shout this thing out, man.
As always, shouting out to Patrick Stewart, my partner in the Articulated Points. Shout out the audience. Sure, why not? Thanks for sticking around, even though you knew it was our schmucks, our stupid faces on tonight instead of Joe and Mark. And shout out to Mike and Rob for having us back yet again, because you knew what you were getting into, and I don't know why you went through this again.
So why don't you tell us about Articulated Points, since we have some new faces?
So Articulated Points is the YouTube channel that Patrick and I are on, and we do like deep dives into action figures and toys, try to shed some light on like toys we love but don't think get enough love in the world, or stuff that we have that we just think is really fun and interesting to show off. And we try to put out something every month, so change it up. Sometimes there's even Disneyland stuff because it's right over there.
Right. Phil has long been one of the cornerstones of the What's on Joe Mine research team, as well as being one of our favorite substitute hosts. So it's if you want to learn something about the history of these lines that have captured your imagination for the last 30 and 40 years, Articulated Points is a good channel to go and subscribe to. So get yourself over there. Click the little button for them too. Once you're done clicking the little button for us, so help me. But yes, absolutely.
So much rage tonight.
If Phil and Patrick don't know it's probably lost to the sands of time. That's how good they are. Is that all you got, Phil?
That's all I got for tonight. Yeah.
All right. Killer Weezer is on to me. Mike is collecting all the Beachheads, so he can say he has every vintage Joe, but they're all dressed like Beachhead.
Clever.
Hey, what's this about an Outback impression, Brian?
Yeah. I'm totally gonna cosplay Tiger Force Outback at Joe Fest. I got the shirt for it now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. My first ever cosplay, and it takes almost no effort whatsoever.
Those are the best kind.
Yeah.
Those are the only kind I will ever participate in, should that ever happen.
Don't forget to bring your backpack and the straps that are two separate items that don't actually interact in any way.
I think, I gotta pay attention to the details. I've gotta find one of those the flashlight attachments or whatnot, what have you. It'll be great. It'll be great. I'm sure the finest is gonna be calling me up and begging for my membership.
There you go. But, who else we shouting out to, Brian?
I shout out to my girlfriend Marianne, who's not watching. And
what's her problem?
She's doing something.
She was here last time
this evening. Plus, if she were I didn't want her to know that I got her a Stargate thing. I haven't given it to her yet, so
okay.
All right.
But shout out to Alistair, who just stole the helmet from my 1960s action soldier guy. I hope I see that sometime again.
You will, but sadly it'll be in the litter box.
Yeah, probably
It won't be in the same shape.
probably in
yeah.
3 years.
Shout out to Timmer from the YouTube show Half the Battle. As is our tradition, we live tweeted through the Super Bowl, and we picked our teams. I had the Chiefs, he had the Eagles, and my team won. Therefore, he is going to appear on my show. So I'm writing an episode for him. I found the most ass ugly thing that I could think of to review. I may appear on his show, but only to say that I'm not going to appear on his show because I won.
It's good that you got mad about these things.
So yeah, shout out to Timmer from Half the Battle. That should be fun. Shout out to our gracious hosts here for letting Phil and I be the plan B, plan C really, but thanks for allowing us to be on here and boost your ratings with our rants and our hot takes.
That's right. I guess it is plan C now that you think about it. Now I feel bad. I do like that you use the correct plural Chiefs.
Yeah.
like thieves or beeves.
Yeah, well, that's more than one of them. It's like,
right. It's very
guys on that roster. It's which one of them is the chief? And by the way, for you Washington fans, which one is the commander? Are they just all commanders? Do they all command?
Yeah.
You've seen them play. There's no commanders down there.
No, this is what I'm talking about. You when you guys need a ratings boost, I will come on I will rage about anything. I don't even care about the Washington Commanders.
Nor should you.
Yeah, no.
Nobody else does either.
No, there is nothing there worth caring about. As soon as you start caring, then you start going to games, and then when you start going to games, you get sewage pipes that burst on your head.
Yeah,
that is not what you need.
There's no coming back from that.
That's how you get sepsis. You don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Sepsis, cholera. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
all the 19th century diseases.
Right. Sounds like
diphtheria, dysentery.
Continues to
all the ones that will be making a comeback as we breed new superbugs.
So, anyways, if you're watching, Marianne, we apologize. We're sorry for ruining the surprise. It's Rack Time Rob, shout it out.
All right, shout out to the studio audience, to all those, old stalwarts and new members, and hey, even the people who are just coming because like Bryan or Phil are here. We welcome all.
Right, please come back. So hit all the buttons.
Yeah, and speaking of which. Welcoming all. Thank you to Phil and Bryan for coming in and filling in tonight.
Yeah.
Clap for yourself.
They're clapping for each other.
Fair enough. All right. What else we got, Rack Time, Rob?
Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. To all the girls I've loved before, I don't know.
To Sir with Love.
Truly an exciting finish to Rack Time Rob shout out. But I will reiterate the shout out to the studio audience. We do enjoy when we've got folks in live stream. There are a lot of you tonight. We really appreciate that. Again, remember, please hit the subscribe button. Come on back. See us again. Not next week, but the week after. To Rack Time Rob, it's his birthday tomorrow. If you missed the beginning of the show.
Happy birthday.
Thank you to Phil and thank you to Bryan for coming in at a relatively short notice. Not as short notice as I have presented to them in the past. But in that regards, thanks to Carson for clearing up his scheduling issues and for continuing to do all the great work he's doing on Operation Recall. We will take a back seat to that anytime, so long as the good stuff gets done and gets in our mailboxes. want to give a shout out. I'm getting the banner up again. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but our friend Diana has suffered a heart attack recently, and they have no insurance. So please, if you have a couple of bucks laying around, even if it's just $1 or $2 or $5, hit up this GoFundMe address. You will find their GoFundMe account and describe all the details for you. But those bills keep coming in, and apparently some more have hit recently. So let's again keep them in your thoughts, and let's help them as much as we can. She's a valued part of our community. She's both inside of GI Joe and outside of GI Joe. We take care of our own in this bunch. So remember them in your run this week. Give a shout out to you folks at home, and whether you're catching us on the replay or live or on the audio, however it is, do have some program notes for you. This is actually the last Friday What's on Joe Mind for some time. We are changing up the schedule a little bit. My work schedule has been changed pretty drastically, so Friday is no longer tenable. So we apologize for messing up your routine. We are not going to be live on Friday nights after tonight. We will still be live. We will be live on Tuesday nights. So change your schedule. Next week, there is no show because nothing's going to happen between now and the Tuesday after President's Day. Good Lord, nothing. But Tuesday, February 28th will be the first Tuesday episode for What's on Joe Mind. It will be at 9 p.m. Eastern. It will be immediately following the live stream for one Mr. Hooded Cobra Commander 788. So he has been a great friend to our show over the years, and now he's opening for us. And I don't know how that works because he's got a much bigger deal going on than we do.
Right
But
in the coat.
We are going to be
my
the
way up to
Carolina
the opening
State of
act.
Seinfeld.
I'm the lead-in.
Right.
I'm just here to warm up the crowd.
Right. I'm not sure how that works since you're going to have a bigger crowd. But we appreciate your being generous with your time and your evening. And we certainly don't mean to encroach on your territory, but we didn't have a lot of options. So I'm real happy that we get to work together on stuff like this.
I'm actually looking forward to it. I mean, the new schedule, it sucks, but I am looking forward to the leading into you guys on Tuesdays. I think that'll be fun.
Ratings
one thing that, it really gets like the ratings is rivalries, feuds. So if we get some kind of feud going, I think that'll help both of us.
Right. Well, I mean, if it was like a ratings war, we would be on against one another.
Yeah. So
we're joining forces. We're kind of like that Thursday night block in the 80s. Like this is Brian's Cosby and Family Ties joining forces with our Cheers and Night Court. That's what's going on here. So
yeah, I think that works, and it's like when Carl Winslow appears on Perfect Strangers, and then also appears in his own show on Family Matters. Yeah, to be exactly like that.
And then he appears on Die Hard.
You should probably wrap up the show before I talk more.
Yeah,
No. We were hoping that you would get around to, it's like when Magnum would show up on Simon and Simon and vice versa.
Yeah, Magnum PI did a guest appearance on Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
That happened.
So did the Simon Boys.
Yeah, see, it's all one television universe.
Right, the Belisario verse, I believe, is what that was.
Yeah,
the Grand Saint Elsewhere theory, where it's all just an imagination of a kid with
all just a snow globe
in
the hands of a child with autism.
God,
that was the finale.
Yes.
I'm not being crass. That was the finale to Saint Elsewhere.
Yes. TV Denzel Washington was nothing but a figment of the imagination of a boy with learning disabilities. But yes, it's as a comic trope says, a real Voltron, a Voltron of GI Joe entertainment, if you will. So join us a week from Tuesday, February 28th, for the first Tuesday episode of What's on Joe Mind, as we redirect the team stream towards our new night and same time. So that is that. And we got any last parting thoughts? You gonna join in with a West Coast team stream at like 11 p.m. or something, Phil?
If only we could do that, and I didn't have to worry about getting up for work so early the next morning.
I would pencil you in for 10:30, but you know how Mark likes to talk. So,
yeah, I mean, we're not. I mean, because we've wrapped this up quick tonight.
well,
It's like when the football game runs long and they have to start cutting off the first few minutes of the news.
well, I mean, who could have expected, the tonight would be the night that Bryan Lower unleashed his full anger.
Yeah, I just been holding back. It's very pent up.
I mean,
Tone it down, buddy. There's children present.
I feel like we made some breakthroughs tonight.
Yeah, I'm exercising every bit of self-control that I have. I'm more animal than man.
We'll go ahead. We'll bring this into the station. Here's the message from our good friend Vagon. Stay safe if you can't. Keep careful. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here at What's on Joe Mind. We'll be back with you not next Friday, but a week from Tuesday, February 28, 9 p.m. Eastern. Join us, won't you? Until then, hey, what? Come on, buttons. Let's work with me here.
The buttons.
So anyways, join us a week from Tuesday, if you February 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back with another episode of the team stream. Until then, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week off from hearing us prattle. Please, Brian, calm down. Please.
You're not the boss of me.
I know. I know. Relax, man.
I'm uncomfortable.
But
This man is.
For our host in absentia, Joe Colton and Mark Weber. For our guest hosts, Phil Donnelly and Bryan Lower. For Racktime Rob, I'm Mike Irizarry. Have a great weekend. And yo, Joe.
Thank you.